Hello everyone, welcome back to your physics class. This is your physics teacher. Hope you all are good. Today we are going to learn chapter 7, electricity and magnetism. So what is electricity? Electricity is a form of energy which is produced from the charged particles known as electrons and protons. So what are electrons and protons? As we know, in an atom there is a nucleus at the center and the electrons revolve around this nucleus in the circular orbits. These electrons are the negatively charged particles which revolve around the nucleus in the circular orbits of the atom, and inside the nucleus there are two particles known as neutrons and protons. Neutrons are the uncharged particles, that means they carry no charge, and protons are the positively charged particles. Mainly the electricity is carried out by the electrons, that means electrons are the primary carriers of electricity. Or we can say that electricity originates from the static charges. Static charges are those charges which are at rest. So it is a form of energy caused by the charged particles known as electrons and protons in an electrical circuit. Now the next branch is known as magnetism. Magnetism is the phenomena which is related to magnets. You have learnt about magnets in the previous class. Magnets are the materials which can attract the other magnetic materials like iron, cobalt, nickel by exerting a force of attraction or repulsion on the similar materials which are kept in its or in their surroundings. So that are known as magnets. And the phenomena or the study of these magnets is known as magnetism. And we will learn about the other branch, which is the combination of this electricity and magnetism, which is known as electromagnetism. So what is electromagnetism? Before that, we will just have a recap, just have a look on the recap regarding the phenomena electricity and magnetism. So first of all, something has been written here that we all have must seen the electric wires, and these electric wires supply electricity and make the sockets, bulb, fans and the other electronic gadgets work. So how the electricity flow through these wires? As you can see, there is a hole, and does the electricity flow through the hole inside the wire? No, there are the copper wires which are responsible for the electricity, because that copper wires are the metals and they can conduct electricity. So that's why these are used as electric wires which are coated with plastic or any insulated material. Now firstly we will learn about magnetism. So as we know, a magnet is an object which is made up of materials like iron, cobalt, nickel, etc., and exerts a force of attraction or repulsion on the similar materials which are kept in their surroundings. And the force which a magnet exerts on the surrounding materials is known as magnetic force. But this magnetic force around any magnet has a range beyond which its strength weakens, or beyond which the strength of this force weakens. So why this weakens? As we can see here, for example, say here a magnet is placed and near it another magnetic material like iron is placed. Then this magnet can attract this iron or magnetic material. If we keep moving this iron apart from this magnet, if we move this iron piece apart from this magnet like here, then the force of attraction between the magnet and the iron will decrease. If we move it more apart from this magnet, then the force of attraction becomes more and more weaker. And if we keep it away at very large distance from the magnet, then what happens? That the magnet will not be able to attract the magnetic material, that is iron, because the magnetic force has become weakened. Why it has become weakened? Because there will be no magnetic field. there will be no magnetic field at very large spaces. So what is magnetic field? Magnetic field is the space around the magnet in which we can observe its magnetic effect, means the space up to which a magnet can attract or repel a magnetic material, that is known as magnetic field. If it can attract up to this space, then we will say that this is the magnetic space or this is the magnetic field. So we know that a magnetic field is produced by the magnet, which occurs naturally on the earth, or it can be made also artificially. But it is also seen that when a current is passed through a conductor can be any of the silver, copper, or any other metal through which electric current can pass. So whenever electric current is passed through a conductor, it also produces a magnetic field around the conductor. How it produces magnetic field around the conductor, that we will study in detail later on. And this discovery was made by Danish scientist Hans Ørsted in 1820 accidentally, because when an electric current flows through a battery was switched on or off, then a compass needle shows deflection. A compass needle shows deflection when an electric current from a battery was switched on and off. So the scientists observe that a compass needle shows deflection. It means there will be some form of magnetic field around the conductor when the current is passed from the conductor, or when the current the amount of current is changed along the conductor. So we will study this later on in detail. Now we will do some recap about the properties of magnets. So what are the properties of magnets? Firstly, magnets can attract magnetic materials such as iron, cobalt, nickel and steel. Secondly, all magnets have two poles, namely north and south poles. The forces of attraction of a magnet is greater at its poles than in the middle. And this thing we also know, that unlike poles of two magnets attract each other and like poles repel each other, means north north and south south will repel each other, but north south or south north will attract each other. So these are the properties of magnets. Now there are laws of magnets. So the basic law of magnetism is same as that I have explained, that like poles of a magnet repel and unlike poles attract each other. So let us demonstrate this through an activity. For this, there is a very basic activity that you have also studied in the previous class. Now, for this we need two bar magnets with their poles marked. The poles should be marked over the magnet as north or south pole. A stand we need. So what is the procedure? Firstly, we will take the two bar magnets and we will suspend one bar magnet with the help of thread at the center. And then we will bring the other magnet, or we will bring the north pole of one bar magnet close towards the north pole of the other bar magnet. So what we will observe? We will observe that the two magnets will repel each other. But when we bring the north pole of one magnet, or when we bring the south pole of one magnet towards the north pole of the other magnet, then we will observe that the two magnets will attract each other. So from this we can say that these like poles repel each other. If you bring the south pole or towards the south pole of this magnet, then they will also repel, but the unlike poles will attract each other. So this shows repulsion and this shows attraction. Now you can write over here that if we take magnet 1 as north pole and the north pole of magnet 2, then they will push each other. They will push. Similarly, south and south pole will also push each other, and north and south pole will pull each other. They will pull, and similarly south and north poles will also pull each other. So this is about the basic law of magnetism. Now next thing is that repulsion is a test for magnet, or we can say that repulsion is a surest test for a magnet. Why it is known as sure test? Because as we can see that a magnet can attract any magnetic material, and how we can distinguish between a magnet or the magnetic material means, if a magnet is kept here or any magnet or magnetic material is bring near it, it will attract all the magnetic materials, or it can also attract the magnet. But how we can distinguish about the magnet or magnetic material? So for that, this is a test. So look at the figure. There is, as in activity, we have seen that like poles, if we bring the like poles closer to each other, and like south and north, the magnets will repel each other, and if we bring the unlike poles to close to each other, they will attract each other. So if a magnet attracts another object, we cannot say for sure that the other object is a magnet. Means if one magnet attracts the another object, then we cannot say that that object is surely a magnet. That can be a magnetic material such as iron, nickel and cobalt, because these all are attracted towards a magnet. But if the magnet repels the object, then we can surely say that the other object is a magnet. So because like poles of a magnet repel each other, so repulsion is a sure test for a magnet. Here we can see that south south will repel each other, and north south will attract each other. So like poles of magnets repel each other, and unlike poles attract each other. So that's why repulsion is a sure test, because if we see that a magnet is repelling the object, then we can surely say that the other object is a magnet. So next is electromagnetism. So what is an electromagnetism? Electromagnetism is the branch which deals with electricity as well as magnetism. It is a branch of physics which deals with electricity as well as magnetism. So as we know that the magnetic field can be produced by the permanent magnets like a bar magnet or a lodestone. But apart from that, magnetic field can also be produced by a current carrying wire. How it can be produced by a current carrying wire? Because whenever a current is passed through a wire, then there will be magnetic fields of line. There will be magnetic lines. So the current acts as a source of magnetic field. But can the reverse be true? Reverse means, can magnetic field be the source of an electric current? The answer to this question is yes. So what is the reverse? Firstly, what I have told, that magnetic field can be produced by a current carrying conductor. But can a current carrying conductor act as a source of magnetic field? Yes, a current carrying conductor can act as a source of magnetic field. So we will see all these in the electromagnetic induction. And as we know that physics is about nature and natural phenomena that takes place around us and in this universe. So as an electric current can produce magnetic field, similarly a magnetic field can also produce the electric current. So the branch of physics that deals with the effects produced by the electric currents or the fields and magnetism is known as electromagnetism, as I have told you earlier. Now come to electromagnetic induction. So what is the meaning of this electromagnetic induction? Induction means acquiring the properties of others. So for example, if two persons sit with each other, then we are able to see that we can transfer the quantities with each other, our qualities with each other. So just like that is the electromagnetic induction. What is it? In 1831, Michael Faraday was the first person to demonstrate that magnetic field in a circuit can also produce electricity. Magnetic field in a circuit can also produce electricity. He showed that whenever a magnetic field linked with the circuit changes with time, an electric current is induced in the circuit, and this effect is popularly known as electromagnetic induction. Because whenever the magnetic field is changed, whenever the magnetic field linked with the circuit changes with time, an electric current is produced in the circuit, and this effect is known as electromagnetic induction. So for this, there is a setup of an electric coil. This is an electric coil which is wound in a helical manner and attached to a galvanometer. So what is it? Let me explain it in detail. This is an iron core. Core means around which an electric coil or electric wire is wound in a helical manner. And this wire is attached to a galvanometer. This is just a wire which is wound on an iron core, and the two ends of the wires are attached to galvanometer. Now what is a galvanometer? Galvanometer is a device which can measure small currents. It is a device which can detect the presence of even very small currents, small electric currents in a circuit. That is known as galvanometer. Now then he took a bar magnet which was initially kept stationary near the coil and the galvanometer arrangement. He has taken a bar magnet, and there is no movement of the magnet. So no current was detected in the galvanometer when the bar is at rest. When the magnet is at rest, there will be no current seen in the galvanometer, because the needle of the galvanometer is at 0. Here it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 on the sides of the needle. So there will be no current when there is no movement of the bar magnet. But now if we started moving the bar magnet in and out of the helical coil, अगर वो जो बार मैग्नेट है उसको इसकी तरफ या इससे दूर लेके जाने की कोशिश करेगा, तो क्या हो रहा था कि जो इलेक्ट्रिक करंट है that can be seen in the galvanometer. The galvanometer needle will show deflection. When he started moving the bar magnet in or out of the helical coil, this helical coil, then the galvanometer showed deflection, or the needle in the galvanometer shows deflection. So the direction of deflection was the opposite when the magnet was moved into and the coil and when taken out. Means कि ये तभी deflection show कर रहा है जब हम magnet को in अंदर की तरफ लेके जा रहे हैं या उससे बाहर की तरफ लेके जा रहे हैं, because by doing this we are changing the magnitude of the magnetic field. We are changing the magnetic field linked with the circuit, and that magnetic field, when that magnetic field changes with the time, then there will be a flow of electric current, or there will be an induced current. What is induced current? Which is induced by the magnetic field, which is produced by the magnetic field in the circuit. So in this case you can see that whenever a magnet is moved inside the helical coil or inside this circuit, then the current will flow in this direction. But if we move the magnet out of this helical coil, the current will flow in the opposite direction. So there will be deflection in the opposite direction when the magnet was moved into or out of the helical coil. Now similar results can be seen when the magnet was kept stationary and the coil was moved towards the magnet. In this case we have moved the magnet, but the coil, the helical coil, is kept stationary, and we can also perform this by keeping the magnet stationary and moving this coil in towards or away from the magnet. So the same results will be seen in that case also, and thus the experiment proves that by changing the amount of magnetic field lines linked with the circuit, the electric current can be produced in it. So we can perform this experiment and we can see the phenomena of electromagnetic induction. So I hope you will understand these topics. Thank you.